My friends, by my standards, I had kind of a laid-back weekend, but there were some things that went on, and I'll tell you about that. And I'll tell you about my plans for today and what we've got going on this week into the weekend, right after this. Hello, my friends. Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa String Works Workshop. Today is Monday, March 13th. And the first thing I want to do is say thank you to Mr. Todd Humphrey for bringing this antler by. Thank you very much, Todd. We can always use antler. And if you've got antler laying around that you aren't using and you want to put it to good use, send it to me. My address is on my website, www.rosastringworks.com. Now, my next point of business would be that I would probably start on this violin today, and I'm hoping I will, but we do have guests in, and the guests are actually from our old neighborhood where we used to live. My wife's friend and her daughter and the daughter's family are here. So I think there's 7 of them in total that are here. I may have to do a little bit of entertaining today in terms of, I think they want to do a little treasure hunting back there for, metal detecting, that type of thing. We'll just see how it goes. I'm not really sure how my time's going to go today. I did do something yesterday that I rarely do, and that is I went back and watched one of my old video series. It was the video series on chocolate. I watched all 5 videos, parts 1 through 4, and then the revisit on number 5 where the young lady opens the violin and finds out that it has been restored because it was a surprise to her. But anyway, for my new viewers, if you have not watched the series on chocolate, so in other words, you could just search on RSW chocolate, you will find the series, and there's parts 1 through 4, and then there's a revisit or a reunion, you might call it, where the lady gets her violin back. She has had that violin since she was a young girl, and she's fully grown now, of course. It meant quite a bit to her, you can tell, because she wrote me one of the most beautiful letters that I've ever received. Melissa read the letter on the video, so you'll enjoy it, I am absolutely sure. If you don't know about chocolate, it was a violin that was totally crushed in a moving van, and when I say totally crushed, I'm not exaggerating. It was pretty bad shape. It had holes all through it, parts missing. Yeah, it was a mess, and it was about an 1830-ish type violin, or at least for sure the 1800s, and a very fine violin, and we completely restored it. I hardly even tell it had been broken, let alone crushed. It's a great series, so if you're new and you haven't seen that series, please watch that. I think you'll thoroughly enjoy it. Well, the report came in on Oliver over the weekend, and my son's already put out a video, so many of you that watch both channels will already know this, but Oliver's report, the Clydesdale horse, was not real good. It's confirmed that the horse has EPM. And my son, at least in that video, didn't go into the detail of what EPM is, and I'm not the expert on that, so I don't know that I can go into the detail, but I can tell you the high level of what it is. It's a disease that comes from possum excrement. The possum excrement gets into the hay or the feed or whatever. Possums crawl around through hay barns and things like that, and they do their business in the hay, and then the horses eat the hay and they get EPM. And it's a very crippling disease. The horses especially stumble in their rear ends, can barely walk type thing. So he definitely does have that. It's a bad thing. It's one of those kinds of diseases that's it's almost a 50-50 on whether you're going to recover from it or not. So there's the first battle he's got to win. Second battle that Oliver's facing is that his blood work was really, really bad. His red blood cell count was like in the 4s, and it should be between the 6s and the 10s. So it's very low. Fortunately, he doesn't have any infections. He's got a big battle on his way back to recovery, and of course, my son and Emery are going to do their best to bring him back to health. So if you're not watching my son's channel, be sure to check that out also. And it's all about Oliver right now. And I put a link in the description of this video. Well, Saturday morning, bright and early, we played the pancake breakfast for the Kiwanis, and it's a fundraiser for the Kiwanis. They do a lot of good in the community, and we've been playing it, well, I'd say at least 15 years, if not 20, that we've been playing that, and we do it every year. This coming Saturday evening, we'll be playing a benefit for the Vichy Volunteer Fire Department in Vichy, Missouri. It will be a pie supper. It starts around 6 o'clock. That will take the stage. I think we're going to probably play 2 sets that evening, so it'll be a good time. If you're in the area and you can come out and support the cause, it's a real good cause. We'd love to see you out there. If I was 3 or 4 people, we'd really all be busy because I got all kinds of ideas on things I'd like to do. One of my most recent ideas that I've been thinking about is I would like to draw up plans for my thickness sander and make those available for sale on my website. The problem is that I'll have to relearn the drafting program in order to draft that up. I haven't done any drafting with any of those programs for, I would say, at least 15 years, so I'm way out of touch on those programs. But if I get 5 minutes, that's one of the things I'm going to try to do. You guys already know I got way more bit off than I'll ever be able to chew. I know that too, but that doesn't keep me from wanting to do things. I think that's what keeps me so young and virile. It's hard to even say that without laughing. I'm going to have to get real busy here this morning. Hopefully get ahead of our visitors before they get up and about, and my time may be occupied with them after this morning real early. We will see you tomorrow.